Good morning, everyone. It's a Tuesday, and I just like to be here on Tuesdays because I bring to you this aspect of mindset change, and it's a wide subject. So we just need to learn how to be here and how to slice. We've sliced the coaching so that at least we can give you something on a daily basis. Today is that amazing day. I just want to fix this so that at least we don't get disturbed. But today is a Tuesday where we come just slicing our coaching so that it can fit into what we are doing. So before we go any further, I just would like you to tag someone, wake up someone, engage someone and say, how are you doing? How are you really? Ask someone or ask me, how are you really, sunshine? Because sometimes we take it for granted just because we are here and we are thinking everything is fine, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So we should be able to ask one another, how are you? I remember the Australians, they've got a day just to ask people, their colleagues, how are they? How are they doing? So that we can be able to just engage. So, how are you doing? Give me that emoji, send me, yes, we are here, and we just go ahead and make our day that really is making us shine. The sun has risen, and today it's a little bit great. It's bright outside, and we're just here making things happen. So just send someone a hi, send me a hi, send yes, where are you joining us from? How are you doing? So that we can just be here and enjoy our 30 minutes of our sliced coaching. Those ones that are joining us for the very first time, my name is Dr. Sylvia Bimwansa, or simply Sunshine, because we are encouraging not to use positions, not to use all these things. So just how are we just coming out is what it is, because some of those things prevents us from learning. So how are you today? How are you doing? Send me a hi. Thank you, Dr. Stephen Mwansa. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we are, just yards apart. I'm in the office. You are there in the in the house, and yes, thank you so much for being a support system. And these are the things that encourage us from every day going live. Those ones, we've been here for the last 4 years. Every day, Rev Water is behind the scenes making us show up every morning. We're in the studio. Rev, good morning. How are you doing today? It's so good. We chat behind the scenes, and every day you show up. So thank you so much. And Rev shows up also on Monday. On Monday,
Yebo.
he comes. Yes, he shows up on Monday, and we are here in the studio just having a good time. On Wednesday, it's a market day, and I can assure you that our Wednesdays are going to be very interesting, because, like, for us, we are gonna launch. We've partnered with Teveta, and we're having a launch in September to just showcase the new syllabus, where we are saying it's a skill mindset change, a skill in mindset change, and we can always learn it. It's a skill, so it can be learned, and this is where we are getting our today's topic. And on Thursday, we've got our Dr. Nelly. She comes sharing for us from bedroom to boardroom. And on Friday is healthy tips. We are in health tips because we have to live in this one body, and it's part of, if you can see in the wheel of life behind me, it is part of the things that we talk about, that without health we can't even do family and home, we can't even do mental and education, we can't even do financial and career, we'll be off duty, we can't even do social and cultural, and especially because, as you know, nowadays when you just you have a flu, we have to take care. Because you can't even go anywhere when you're with everyone is so scared. So we have really to make sure that we are engaging in this Friday so that we can just have this. For us, we are big um, on supplements, the natural supplements that help us to be here every morning, and also just drinking water. Be deliberate about drinking water. And for me, I have actually just chosen um, to be drinking hot water, and thank God for my nice gift from Absa. Just makes me drinking the hot water because it keeps hot when I need it, and I just fill it up twice a day. I would have had my 2.5 liters with my morning glass. That's what this is, 1 liter, and the other 1 liter plus my 500 mils hot in the morning. So here I am today. It's a Tuesday, and we brought for you our sliced coaching with me, and we are saying how to learn mindset change is a skill. We can learn it, and I'll give the example of how we can learn emotional intelligence. And the last week I was at APSA, and I revised or reviewed or relearned emotional intelligence. So I thought we could actually speak about it and just share how we can be in that space where we are taking emotional intelligence at another level. I hope you can hear me loud. If you can hear me where you are calling from, just type yes, yes, yes. We can hear you. Coach Sunshine, we can hear you. Thank you so much for joining us. So today, mindset change, we know, is a crucial skill that can be learned and developed over time. It's not a one-day thing that my mindset now is okay. And especially if you've been struggling with your upbringing, you've been struggling with your positions, you've been struggling with your knowledge through education, and you think that, me, I already have it. It's not that easy to just say you have it, because even for us who are always in the space of facilitating, we are always learning. So skills can be learned, and this is why I am even so excited about launching the mindset change process as a skill, as a new skill that we can learn. So we have to really embrace and cultivate a growth mindset, and embracing the power of mindset change in emotional intelligence. What can we, talk about emotional intelligence? Daniel Goleman, an American psychologist and science journalist, was the first. He was the first one who actually coined the term emotional intelligence, or emotional quotient. And high emotional intelligence is also known as emotional quotient. The EQ is the human ability to recognize, understand, exploit, and manage one's emotions in positive ways. Why are we saying in positive ways? Because if it's not in positive ways, then we're not going to experience that emotional intelligence when we are out there. So there are 5 components of emotional intelligence, one of them being empathy. The other one is effective communication or social skills that we have. The other one is self-awareness and self-regulation. And the fifth one is motivation. So I'm going to go over these and see how we can just, socialize ourselves and remind ourselves that indeed emotional intelligence is up to as a learning skill. So, as I said, over the last weekend, have been researching and facilitating emotional intelligence, and I had the opportunity of actually engaging with a team from APSA, and it brought out a lot of emotion that we can deal with and how we can go about it. So I thought of bringing it here to have a discussion around it. I would delve into the 5 components of emotional intelligence in a little detail. The more in-depth one, you need to sign up with SBM Training and Consulting Institute so that we can just go through there. But these, we have sliced it so that in 30 minutes we can be we can be aware, because otherwise it's a 3-day issue that we can be able to actually learn and learn things, relearn the things that we want, and be able to engage others at that level where we also want to be understood. So emotional intelligence is a set of skills that will help you or help me or help us to recognize and understand emotions. It also helps us to use emotions to facilitate thinking. I remember the last time when we were talking about, the 8 hours for sleeping in the 24 hours that is allocated to us. And we said before you go to sleep, just have the 2 hours of thinking, or 1 hour, or 30 minutes of thinking and reviewing your day, so that you know what really did I spend my time on during that day. So also emotional intelligence help us to just think, facilitate thinking. Emotional intelligence also helps us to understand how others feel. How are others feeling in our space? It also helps us to manage our own emotions, because when we manage our own emotions and we're taking into consideration what other people feel, we are going to be in that nice space. So it also manages our emotions of others. It helps us to manage the emotions of others. When somebody is has passed on, somebody, the feeling is different in a lot of people, depending on the relationship that they had. To some it's just good riddance, to some that is the person that meant so much to you. You'd think that, and I'm sure most of you have experienced it, even when you were not really caring about a person, but when they pass on, it's like you start even missing the stupid things that they were doing, because they are normal, and you try to manage yourselves in that way. So emotional intelligence just makes you realize that this is not just a normal thing, so you should be able to apply a certain kind of thinking towards that situation. Also, emotional intelligence will also help you to perform in the workplace, and that was what actually happened. We saw how the role plays just brought out the things that really are required for you to work well in your own workplace. So I will share with you the 5 components of emotional intelligence, which can be learned and developed. And the first one is self awareness. What indeed is self awareness? It is the ability to understand your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and how they impact your behavior. It involves being mindful of your thoughts, of your feelings, and their influence on your actions. Because these are some of the things that really, really help us to make sure that when we are in this state of our mind, we can have feelings, and how those feelings influence your actions. So how can we learn self-awareness as a skill? We have been taught that we have to practice self-reflection and mindfulness exercises to enhance your ability to recognize and understand your emotions. We have to seek feedback from others to gain insights into your strengths, weaknesses, and blind spots. A lot of us have these blind spots, but we don't know how they are affecting others. We always want to go around something. We even know that it's not going to help us, but we go ahead and do it. So this is what we are saying. We have to seek feedback. How do others feel about what I've said? And if you are in a company of the people that you trust, you can always seek them and say, how is this? If I say this, how did they, you get feedback from those people that are around you. Yesterday, we started training with Kaizen, and they're saying, you know what, Kaizen is Japanese, but sometimes why we also fail to bring out a lot of things that are relating to us is we are using this how can I call it? We are using a solution to the people, to different people who actually don't believe in that solution, or they've got behaviors that do not help you to acquire that. This is why even when we're planning this mindset change, we said, what is it that can fit the people that are here in Zambia or in Africa? Because Africa has got similar challenges. But with these, some of the courses that we undertake, with very experienced thing and with very great outcomes, but because we are different, but because we are special, I can say it, Zambians are special people. So we need a Zambian solution. And this is why I like to engage with people around here. I said, we have to start, this mindset change needs to start here. And if we can slice the coaching to just make people aware about certain issues that really they can use when they are around ourselves for development, so that we can be in that space where we want. And you know what? Every human being wants success. And how can we have success? Some of it is just to have self-awareness of what is it that I am able to do and what is it that others are able to do, so that we can follow. So what are other things that we can do for self-awareness? Sometimes we just keep a journal to track your emotional experiences and patterns. This is why our planner is designed such that you record everything that you are doing, everything that we're doing, you record it, so that you can come and refer to it and improve on what you actually want to do. Because you cannot write at the end of the day that my emotion was bad, so I couldn't be able to do anything. This is why it is so important to actually pick that. Emotional intelligence is saying keeping the positive things that are happening around you. So what about self-regulation? The capacity to control and manage your emotions, impulses, and behaviors effectively. It includes the ability to pause when something is said. You pause and reflect. You reflect and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. A lot of us just react. For me, after the ABSA training, I've been really reflecting, and I've really I want to not to react on impulse. I want to think through things, and when I have thought through, I would be able to actually then react to what it is, and really to be able to react in that positive way, or discuss something in a positive way, that someone doesn't feel that what they said or how they said it really affected me. So it is, I am learning. And if I can learn, anyone else can learn. And together we can come out with those beautiful end results. So how can we be able to do self-regulation? We should be able to develop strategies to manage stress, such as deep breathing, meditation, or physical exercises. It will be able to help us manage self-regulation. Also practice delayed gratification and impulse control by pausing before reacting to challenging situations. This I have witnessed, and it really, really works. Also cultivate a growth mindset and learn from your mistakes rather than being self-critical. And this is actually, we're always beating ourselves up, always going back to the things that happened in the past, always referring to things that has happened in the past. So we're always like beating ourselves when it's not even necessary to do that. So once we cultivate a growth mindset and learn from our mistakes rather than being self-critical, we are going to be able to build ourselves in that line. Because when you're always criticizing, mentioning you are the bad one, mentioning I shouldn't have done that, mentioning, we are just wasting our time. So the best thing is to really self-regulate and be able to move forward. The other one is motivation. This is the inner drive and passion that propels you to achieve your goals and pursue personal growth. It encompasses a positive, optimistic outlook and the resilience to overcome challenges. Resilience, because we know that it's challenging. So that we have to be resilient so that we can be able to overcome those challenges. But how can we be able to do this? we have to set meaningful, intrinsic goals that align with our values or your values and passions. What is your value? What are your passions? This is what we're saying. Even as we look at the spoke of the wheel of life, social and cultural, we are talking about social is our networks. Where are we practicing the things that I'm talking about? And what are our values? In the cultural part is our values. You see, these values and principles are even enshrined in our constitution. And this is why we are saying, how can we practice our values and principles so that people know us, or somebody would be able to actually say, how are you making sure that these things are what it is that we want? Power has gone here, but I hope that we can be able to manage in the last few minutes with our step down UPS. So set meaningful, intrinsic goals, so align with our values and passions. Celebrate small wins and recognize your progress, even in the face of setbacks. Surround yourself with positive, inspiring role models and mentors. When we say role models, are you that role model that really manages the things that you really want to do, or that role model that you only do things you say, do as I say, not as I do? So role models really should be careful of how their emotional intelligence is, so that they can pass it, to the others. And also, we are saying motivation involves surrounding yourself with positive, inspiring role models and mentors. These are some of the things that we really can be able, to manage. The other one is empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, to see things from their perspective. Empathy allows you to connect with people, build stronger relationships, and respond with passion. Practice active listening. We have learned that if you have to be that emotional intelligence, you have to be able to practice active listening, asking questions, and genuinely trying to understand other people's perspectives. Also, observe and learn from people who demonstrate high levels of empathy in their interactions. Also, engage in volunteer work or community service to develop a greater sense of compassion. What we are talking about, engaging in volunteer work or community service to develop a greater sense of compassion. This is because surrounding ourselves, there are a lot of things. And in volunteer work, like tomorrow is the World Sickle Cell Awareness Conference. And because I volunteer in that space, I need to show up. I need to make sure that the things that are out there are able to I'm able to engage and able to manage some of the things that usually I wouldn't be able to do on my own. And by engaging, you never know who is helping you. And for me, engaging in awareness of community service, which is in the space of a sickle cell and cancer, I'm able to actually align myself with the issues that really manage our uptake and the things that we are managing on a daily basis. So I encourage you to actually engage or volunteer somewhere, because at the end of the day, when we volunteer somewhere, the results is going to be equal to the way we manage our social and our capacity to manage those things that we've got no control over. The other one is social skills. Social skills is the ability to effectively communicate, effectively interact, and build relationships with others. It involves active listening. It involves conflict resolution. It involves collaborations and the ability to influence and persuade. This, if we are able to do that, we are going to be in very, very good emotional intelligence. And social skills is where most of us live. We are in the social community. Everywhere, when we are at the office, there is a social skill that we must get there. At the funeral, there is a social skill that we must able to demonstrate. everywhere we are practicing social skills. And how does this help us to manage? So this is actually where you improve your communication skills, such as effective speaking, body language, and tone of voice. Sometimes we're saying something which is really great, but you're saying yes, but your body language has said, please don't bother me. Even if I'm saying yes, I'm just saying so that we are together. This for me is one thing that I want to manage as a social skill. When body language is you are saying yes, you are complaining. You're saying yes, you're going to do it. So just be in that good spirit where you are showing your social skill that you are happy to do what you're doing, to do what you're doing. Because a lot of times you're doing great things, but your body, the way your outlook, everything is saying, I don't want. But then you are doing it. So why not just be in that great disposition so that people can actually appreciate what you are doing? Because that is how social skills develop. Improve your communication skills. Communication actually is the backbone of any social skill. When you communicate, you're just saying things, you don't give feedback, you don't give, you've gone somewhere, you come back, you're quiet, everybody around you is waiting for your response, and then you are really not, saying anything. And so people say, is it a disturbance to us? So when you ask again, it also becomes like you are really getting into those spaces where you're not supposed to be. So when you've got social skills good, you should be able to read the mood. You should be able to actually see, let me reserve something that is going to be able to share, and we can develop that communication that is healthy so that everything goes according to plan. So we should also practice expressing our thoughts and feelings clearly and assertively, while also being open to feedback. A lot of us don't want feedback. A lot of us, we don't want to say because maybe the feedback is not gonna go well, so we just try to stay inside. And even when we're doing exercises, the mindset change process, a program is really doing exercises, writing, erasing, and just putting forward those things that you need to learn, and learn if it doesn't make sense, and come up with something that is really so great. So when you say, okay, well, you write, people are busy writing very slowly, but when you actually come and say you are going to share you're going to share this with somebody, then they start to actually write and bring out the things that normally they were going to not do, to manage to write. But when you say you're going to share the book, quickly they start to perfect it, because now they're going to exhibit that social skill to someone else who is going to see how are they communicating, how are they writing. So when you have got someone checking you, giving you feedback, and looking at your work, you develop, even that social skill, or you develop the communication style, you develop even inside. And this is going to help us also in the social skills, develop conflict resolution strategies, and learn to navigate different social situations with confidence. We are saying with confidence because when you do not have confidence, it is just going to take away, something that is not, there. So remember always that emotional intelligence is a lifelong learning process. Lifelong. Every day we are doing something, because every day life is happening. Every day life is showing up. Every day we need to be able to manage ourselves. Consistency and self-reflection. Consistency is key. I was telling that we've been on this platform 4 years, every day, Monday to Friday. 4 years, we've been consistent. We've been showing up regardless. Here, even Zesco is not disturbing us. If it disturbs you, you've got alternative. We don't want to give it as an excuse, because guess what? Here we've even got mags. Complaining expired yesterday. So even if you complain, what's going to happen to you? Nothing. So you're just going to be frustrated. You're just going to, to have that feeling of resentment and things not happening. So when you're consistent, you have self-reflection and willingness to step outside your comfort zone are key to developing these essential skills. With dedicated practice and a growth mindset, you can really, really enhance your emotional intelligence and unlock new levels of personal and professional success. And we say, whatever we are doing, you must be able to use these skills, professionally and also personally, because you are the one person who's actually going out there, to work. You're the same person who's coming back to the family. You're the same person who is taking yourself out there in all these, things that come across us. You cannot say, I am good at home, and then at the workplace you are not, because you are this same person that is making things happen. If you want to be able to actually now get in depth of learning how to manage your 6 areas of life, you can get in touch with us on 097 5521 485. So, or leave a message. Leave a message on our Facebook page, Cocktail Chats with SunshineSylvia, or on our Facebook page, Mindset Change Process. And also, you can just get in touch with our team, the 730 core team members, if you really want to change, your life, or you want to change something about you. We are here to help one another and manage the things that we need to be going. Every week we've got a class that is engaging with us, and really we are seeing the way that it's going. And we really want also to thank the Ministry of Labor, who really has had this mindset change program as a tool for productivity. And we're encouraging everyone to just use the tool so that together we can be in that growth mindset, which will help us to have emotional intelligence that leaves a taste of time, and that we can be able to impact others. So I'm just here already in class. It's 8, and I am waiting for Kaizen team, and we're driving this mindset change program to another level with like-minded people, and we are good to go. So thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to our next Sliced Coaching next Tuesday, where we come with you for another small topic but big, and we encourage you to join us. So have a great day, and God bless you.